Hey everybody, this is Birdman Bobby coming at you from the studio, and I am chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Birdman Bobby.
Oh, I've been riding motorcycles since I was 18 years old. Actually, 16. I bought my first bike in Texas when I was stationed in Fort Hood.
Oh, you were in the military?
Yes, sir.
What was that experience like?
It was great. I'd do it all over again. I wish I would have never got out.
Why'd you get out?
I just didn't like it at the time, but now looking back on it, I would have, I'd be retired right now with a pension, and instead of dealing with what I'm dealing with now.
Hey, it's always looking back at things. There's a lot of things I would change,
Right? Hindsight's 2020.
100%.
Yep. Yeah.
So, what kind of experiences have you had riding motorcycles?
I just had a story published back in knock it off. Back in 22, I coming home from Sturgis, had my daughter on the back of the bike. It's about 3:30 in the morning. We just pulled over to. She was cold, so I let her put on my leather pants. I put on my rain pants because it was kind of chilly. And as we're getting back on the highway, I'm watching the light come over the horizon, and I'm thinking to myself, just don't hit a deer. And I look down to make sure I'm doing 80 because I just got dinged doing 104 the day before. And I look up, and there's Mom, Dad, and Bambi right in the middle of the road. So I'm an ex-road racer. When in doubt, throttle out. And I shot the gap between Mom and Bambi. And Bambi apparently stepped into me as I was going through. She knocked the gremlin bell off my fork. She knocked my highway bars off my fairing. I got a road glide. Bent my brake pedal from this to on top of my foot like that. My leg was huge. I never went down. The bike just kind of did that. My daughter woke up and was like, "Dad, what was that?" I'm like, "Honey, we just hit a deer. I can't believe we're alive." So I pulled into the rest area. There's pictures of it up on my social, but I had Bambi's intestines glued to my exhaust. The whole side of my bike was covered in feces and blood. Some guy with a rider truck and dreads was there. He gives me a big old nugget, and he pulls out he had all the band equipment from Papa Roach and Molly Hatchet. And that's what they rent out there. So he pulls out his truck ramp, ratchet straps it to my highway bars. We crank those back out and straighten them up. Then he takes a cymbal stand, ratchet straps it to my brake pedal, stands it back up, offers to give us a ride. He's at a lift. He's like, "I'll throw the bike on the lift, take you all the way to Moline." My daughter's like, "Yeah, Dad, let's do it." And I'm like, "Nope, honey, we rode it here. We're going to ride it home." And we rode it home. So I have deer antlers mounted to my bike because I think once you smoke a deer at 80 and you live to tell about it, you are now authorized to put some horns on your bike. Everybody thinks I put them up there to have the birds or something. I'm like, nope. And then they ask, "Is that the deer you hit?" And I'm like, "No, if that would have been."
That's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask.
I don't think I would have. I don't think I'd be doing this interview right now if I'd have hit Dad.
When you said he was ratchet strapping, I thought he was ratchet strapping the deer.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. I had like 3 seconds to decide whether to lay it down, lock it up, what to do. And I just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to shoot that gap." So I was like, I got 3 seconds and we're dead. And we didn't.
Your life flashes in front of your eyes, right?
Oh yeah, I still got big time PTSD from it. But it wasn't my time,
Have you had any other accidents on the road?
Oh, I've had what we call 4 get-offs on bikes. Accidents you don't walk away from. Get-offs you kind of just, in the racing world, you lay it down and you get back up and jump on it and ride it out. So I've had about 4 get-offs, but mostly I've got a couple Buells, and that's, my drug of choice was dragging knees before. And I thought buying the Road Glide would slow me down, but now they got those bagger races, and I'm now scraping floorboards with my Road Glide. So,
Going around corners.
Guy's a movie star. Look at him showing off.
When you're going around corners, you scratch the plates on the ground.
Yeah, I drag my footboards in corners. Yeah, I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you ever have the bike skip on you from dragging them?
I've hit cattle crossing guards and had the bike slide about 5 feet as I'm going through that turn. That'll pucker up your soul real quick.
What about alligator traps?
No alligator traps.
No, you never hit tires and pieces of tires on the highway?
No, I've hit animals. I had a bird last year that like swooped down in front of me and caught the bottom of my foot, and just feathers were everywhere.
It just exploded, right?
Yep, just like Bambi. Matter of fact, when there were people coming to the rest area afterwards, and I'm going, "Did you guys see anything out there? Was there any carnage, blood in the road, anything?" They're like, "Nope, nothing." So I can imagine Mom and Dad were standing there going, "Hey, John, did you hear that thunder go by? Wait, where's Bambi? Bambi's no." I mean, I'm sure I just for me to have intestines glued to my exhaust, I had to just disintegrate that deer.
Yeah, but they're strong animals. Some of them will get hit by a car, get up and start running away.
Oh yeah, she fucked me up, man. My leg was pretty swollen. I was surprised I made it home.
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy that you kept going.
Yeah,
I would have jumped in the truck.
Right? I thought about it later. One thing I should have done. Somebody told me I got to a gas station. They're like, "You need to wash all that off. Like, you ought to take that over the power washer right now." And I was thinking more like a badge of honor. You know, I hit a deer. Dumbest thing I ever did was let that blood bake onto my engine.
Oh my God! It probably
that thing with SOS pads for like 6 hours. I was cleaning my bike.
So, damn, that's crazy. What's some other situations where you had to lay the bike down?
One time I was in Deals Gap, and I was leading a ride with a bunch of Buell guys. And I always tell people when I'm riding with them, don't try to keep up, don't target fixate, ride your own line. I'll wait for you at the end of the turns. And I came around a turn, and it was early in the morning, and there was a local in a pickup truck over the double yellow in my lane. So I ended up dropping it off the side of the road. And luckily I was on the mountainside, and I must have dropped down 1.5 feet. And I'm thinking I'm going to ride this thing out. And all of a sudden I hit a boulder, and the boulder took me off the bike, and I watched my bike roll down the shoulder, fall over. And as I'm doing that, the guy that was behind me trying to keep up with me ran straight into the wall. He ended up getting airlifted out of there with a broken back.
Wow. So have you been with other people who have crashed?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Can you walk me through a situation where that happened?
That was one of them. Then just about a month or so ago, I was in a club, but I'm out bad in my club. I was the president of Windsor City Times for the Iron Vikings. And one of my prospects ran into me at a stoplight. He thought that we were going to go through the stoplight, and we didn't. We stopped, and all of a sudden I heard, "Urgh!" And I guess this guy low-sided and high-sided, and then he slid into me, ejecting me into the intersection. I didn't go down. I thought my first instinct was get the fuck out of here, because whoever just hit me probably going to get hit by somebody else, and then they're going to hit me again. So I pulled out, parked, got off my bike. I had a broken rib, and my wrist was fucked up, and my back was fucked up. But this guy's bike was pretty messed up. And then they're like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be all right." And they want to call the police. I'm like, "Nah, it's one of my brothers. I don't want to cause any trouble. Just, as long as my bike is okay, I'm good." And they're like, "Did you look at your bike?" And I turned around and looked, and I saw I got an 05 Road Glide that I just put 18 saddlebags on in a tour pack. So they were brand new. And my saddlebag was like up in the air, cracked all the whatever the mounting.
Fiberglass, like fiberglass, right? It's
Well, it
made
didn't
out.
crack. Well, it did crack the fiberglass. I didn't know that till later. That's what got me in trouble. So I asked him to just buy me new screw connectors, $39. He buys them for me. When I went to go change them out a couple weeks later, I noticed my bag is cracked. So I called this guy and I'm like, "Hey, dude, my bag's cracked. I'd like to get it fixed or get me a new one." He's like, "You signed off on this already the day of the accident. I'm not doing nothing." And I'm like,
Wow.
"That's bullshit." So I start, trying to get a hold of this guy. He's ghosting me. So I went up to one of our gatherings in the Dells and I confronted this guy. And I'm like, "Hey, man, why are you ghosting me?" And he's like, "Higher ups told me that I shouldn't be in contact with you because you signed off on this already." And I'm like, "Well, you're right, I did, but I didn't realize I had this damage to my bike. I just want to get it fixed." I'm like, "You're lucky I didn't call the cops. My lawyer says I could have got 35 grand out of this accident. Cost you $39. So fix my bag." So this guy goes off on me. We got into an argument. And next thing you know, I'm getting a text from the sergeant arms of my club telling me to turn in my badges.